the bonnet of the XF Sportbrake, we have a 2179cc 4-cylinder turbo diesel, transversely mounted, which means in the good old-fashioned way it drives the rear wheels. Puts out 163 horsepower, 400 newton meters of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic gearbox with its either standard setting, sport setting, or if you want, you've got flappy paddles. 0 to 60, 9.8 seconds, with a top speed a respectable 130 miles an hour. Now, think on this. A few weeks ago, I did a 260 mile round trip in a small Japanese car of the economical variety. On the motorway, this Jaguar bettered the Japanese Super Mini Super Economical by a good 5 miles per gallon, doing 15 to 25 miles an hour more. Right. A few weeks ago, super economical small French Super Mini city car, goes anywhere, anytime, on the whiff. This Jaguar around town is 9 miles per gallon better than the small French city car. It beats both economical cars by a considerable amount. Okay, it's more to buy. This particular one is just short of £43,000 in comparison to the £10,000 and £16,000 of the two aforementioned small city cars. However, look at what this can do. Granted, inside it isn't as Jaguar as you might think. Problem is, anybody who's used to Jaguars or has been used to Jaguars still looks for the gentleman's club atmosphere and ambience. This is different. It's extremely comfortable. The leather and Alcantara seats, very supportive, excellent over long distances. Like old Jags of old, you don't get out of the other end straining and stretching. You get out feeling like you've just got in. The suspension is soft enough to iron out all but the most severe of road surfaces, yet it still allows the car to perform and the car to handle. What I would say is, yes, it feels like a Jaguar when it's being pushed, when it's being hustled along. You go into a set of corners with this car, you set it up correctly, it will go around the corners, it will give you the feedback you're looking for, it will give you the handling you're looking for. It's a nice car to drive. It's just one of those things, when you sat behind the wheel, it is the wheel in the middle of the wheel, the growler, the Jag's head, that tells you you're in a Jaguar. If that wasn't there, maybe you wouldn't feel quite as jagged as you might have done before. But if you're looking for an estate car that holds a phenomenal amount of luggage or goods, or for whatever reason you want to carry, along with economy, the economy of this vehicle is outstanding. Over 54 to the gallon in a Jaguar has never been known, or at least I've never known it. I always used to consider myself lucky if I got 22 to the gallon out of the Jaguars that I drove. Equally, this is the small engine. Once over, buying a Jaguar with a little engine was more or less an admission that you wanted a Jag but you couldn't really afford one. Buying this particular Jag, in my opinion, now states we want the Jag, we want the comfort that comes with it, we want the looks. Once again, the looks of this particular model are, it's a bit Marmite-ish. Some people like it, some people think it's dreadful, but it's whatever suits you. The economy is what will drive this car forward, because it is a major consideration for many people these days, and the fact that it will outperform on consumption many a supposed economical car is testament to the fact Jaguar have got this car right, and it needs to be appreciated by more and more people. Apart from that, it's the sort of car that I've already driven 600 miles in it and enjoyed all of them. If I had to drive down to Italy, Germany, south of France, or anywhere in Europe, I could think of far worse vehicles to be sat behind or sat inside than this, the Jag XF Sportbrake. Okay, the sporting things and bits and pieces that this R model brings with it are all very nice if you want them, if you need them. But as with all Jaguars, there's a whole host of accessories that you can select from to personalise the car or adapt it and make it more suitable for what you want the car to do, what you want the car to be. But to sit here and watch a Jaguar sip at its fuel is amazing, outstanding. Once over, nobody would ever credit that Jaguar would ever conceive of putting a diesel engine in, let alone a 4-cylinder diesel engine. But here it is, and there it is under the bonnet, and the end result is a vehicle that, from no matter which way you approach it, is a seriously impressive car, and a car that deserves far more attention of anybody looking for a vehicle in this market segment, because to my mind it gives its competition some serious cause for thought. And when you look at what it's doing and how it's doing it, as the saying goes, it don't half pull their pants down for them. Hello and welcome to another edition of Motoring Northwest with me, Mark Stone, Ken the Cam, and the Jaguar XF Sportbrake R Sport. Right, Jags, if the adverts are to be believed, are the perfect transportation for your cad, your villain, your ne'er-do-well, and that caddish character who is, shall we say, maybe a little bit dodgy. But with the XF, what is unusual is, apart from the fact that in saloon form it is the Jaguar that in many ways is saving the brand. It has brought the great name of Jaguar, or as everybody calls it, Jag, into the 21st century with a vehicle that, in respect of technology, in respect of looks, in respect of engines, has brought them up to be level with their competition. The unusual thing about the Sportbrake is it is the first production Jaguar estate. Until now, all Jaguars, the most famous of which was the Jaguar XJS Eventer, were produced by custom body shops who would take a standard saloon car or coupe and turn it into an estate. So there was never actually a production estate until now, and here it is, already having won numerous awards. The XF is, as soon as you look at it, a radical departure from what went before. Until today, or until the advent of the XF, most Jags had looked as Jags should look, and as people thought Jaguars should look. The problem was, it meant their competition, which in the main were the German brands, were leaving them behind. The, shall we say, country house gentleman's club look and general demeanour was going badly out of style. The big thing about this particular one is the 2.2 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel. There's various descriptions of it, but the easiest way to describe this is a lean burn unit. It's the most economical engine Jaguar have probably ever produced. I've just covered 520 miles, very, very mixed miles, motorway, fast A road, all sorts of things. Mean average over the 520 miles has been 50.8 miles per gallon. On the motorway, steady throttle, 54.3. Pushed hard and driven with a bit of enthusiasm on the A roads, 47.3, which as I said gives you a mean average of 50.8 over 520 miles. Never have I driven a Jaguar that gives you fuel consumption figures like this. As I said, it does fall a little bit short of the factory figures, but factory figures are all laboratory acquired. Out here in the real world, we aren't driving in a laboratory. We're driving on roads, we're stopping, we're starting, we're changing gear. So it's very, very rare, if ever, you will achieve factory figures. Inside, it's Jaguar's modern take. Nice, soft touch surfaces, brushed aluminium, black effect wood, and gloss effects here, there and everywhere. Clear, simple instrumentation, 7-inch screen. The controls are relatively simple and easy to understand and very quick and easy to operate. What I don't like, the general ambience of what was a Jaguar, that made a Jaguar, has to a degree gone. The leather seating with Alcantara inserts and everything else is actually very nice. The vehicle is comfortable, and one of the hallmarks of the pleasure of being in a vehicle is driving in night time. I had to drive for 6 hours from 10 o'clock till 4 in the morning. Inside at night time on the motorway and the A roads, it's nice. It's a pleasant, friendly, warm and welcoming place to be. It's just nice to have to spend time. If you're going to sit in a queue on the motorway, I can think of far worse places to be. However, interestingly, when you start it up, all the vents rotate, all very nice, I suppose. But the one thing, the gear selectors, apart from the fact you've got them on flappy paddles if you're ever inclined, it's the same system that's used in the Range Rovers, and it's this metal knob that pops up. It's just unfriendly. To my mind, take some of the wood that you've used and use that to make this. It's just unpleasant. It's a lump of metal, and I just don't like it. I'm sorry, Jaguar, the rest of the car's great. This, and on the Range Rovers, do away with it. It looks like an afterthought. It doesn't fit in with the rest of the car. Apart from that, 7-inch screen, hi-fi, it'll mate up to your telephone, to your iPod, whatever you want, it'll do it for you.